And welcome to another jam-packed, exciting episode of My Favorite Conservative. I am Edward.
And I'm Andrea, but I am not conservative.
You're not?
No, but he is my favorite conservative. Hence the name.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness. Can there be any more going on in the world today?
There's a lot. It's a lot.
What do we have? We've got Hamas and Israel in a hot war.
Very much so.
We have Ukraine, Russia
in a hot war. Well, Cold War, because it's cold there. It was a joke. Okay, never mind.
That's really bad.
It's like a bad dad joke. Okay.
Our universities are becoming hotbeds of open anti-Semitism, right?
Yes.
We have President Biden getting payments from a Chinese company via his son and brother and sister-in-law.
Yeah, it was a very long,
circuitous loop.
Yes. And that actually is considered money laundering for our fan that got mad at me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. We also we've got Democrat big city mayors, crying to the White House to stop the open border policy.
Oh, you mean the border that we wanted to close a long time ago?
Yeah.
You mean how every Texan wants the border closed, but now they're upset?
Yeah. That one. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, let's not forget about the old standby, good old inflation. Have you been to the store lately? Yeah.
I don't even want to talk about our grocery bill. It's just the two of us.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I do see we have a viewer. Thank you so much for watching live. And we will open up the comments and we can read the comments on LinkedIn, but I'm not sure about the other two. Oh boy. Okay. So, and our cat just joined the show. We're still live. Hold on just a minute. We got to get back to.
Well, you didn't say she stepped on the keyboard.
She stepped on the keyboard. Oh no.
Oh goodness. Award-winning.
Houston, we have a problem.
We do.
Let's see. There we go. We fixed it. Oh my gosh.
Thank you to our technical team.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
Yes. You said we could mention the cat, but this time she actually screwed shit up.
She did.
Yes.
Thank you, Beatrix.
Yes. Okay. So we are back. We left off with inflation. Mm-hmm. We're not going to talk about inflation and grocery bill, at least not today. But what are we going to talk about? It's a lot.
I thought today, let's look forward because there's so much just crap going on. Let's look forward to 2024.
Okay.
And who's going to be the one to lead us out of all of this that's going on?
Democrats or Republicans?
Yes. But let's go. Let's look at everything where we are right now.
Okay. Well, we do have a debate coming up this Wednesday. I really wish you guys would do those debates on the weekends. That's just me. We have 4 candidates who have qualified and one possible maybe. We have, of course, Governor Ron DeSantis, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley, entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy, former Governor of New Jersey Chris Christie. How he even made it, I don't know. And then current Senator Tim Scott is a possible maybe. Edward, what does Tim have to do, or Senator Scott, sorry, to get on the stage?
Well, Senator Tim, he doesn't have the sufficient poll numbers yet.
Okay, so he's got the donors, but not the polls.
Yeah, he has the money. They're frantically trying to find a poll that will give him the required, I think it's like 4% or something.
Really?
It keeps going up each time. It used to be like 1% or whatever.
That's what
so
I was
now
going to ask.
More. It could even be more than that. But yeah, they kind of poll shop to try to find one that will meet the requirements that the Republican National Committee has put on this.
Got it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about each one of these candidates. Let's talk about Ron DeSantis because he has a crazy scandal going on.
Oh, Bootgate.
Yes. Which I didn't even know about until 2 days ago. And this is up there in some of the dumbest. I mean, it's so dumb. Why don't you tell everybody what Bootgate is for those who don't know? And it's okay if you don't because it's so dumb.
Yes. So Ron DeSantis wears cowboy boots.
Always. Everywhere.
Yes. And by the looks of them, they do look a little heightened, if you will. Kind of a bigger heel than normal, I believe. And then people are accusing him of putting lifts in his boots too. Right. Reminds me of the Seinfeld episode. Remember with the little guy what was his name? He was accused of heightening.
Oh, was
which,
he?
Which is a no-no in the little person community.
Okay.
Anyway,
all right. Back to Governor DeSantis.
So yeah, they're concerned that Ron DeSantis isn't 5'11" that he says he is. Maybe he's only 5'9.5" or 5'10".
Yes. And you know what? He really could have fixed this. I forget what radio show he was on, but he was being asked about this stupid, I mean, there's so many more important things in the world. Stupid topic. All he needed to do was to take off his boots and show them to the host. That's all he would need to do. It's like, hey, look, I have no lips. Or say, you know what? I do, because men tend to lie about their height the way women tend to lie about their weight.
And age.
Okay.
Now,
wow, that was super sexist.
If I were,
wow,
I think that's true.
You don't think men lie about their age too?
Just on dating sites. From
okay.
What I've heard.
Okay. All right. Oh my God. All right. Back to Bootgate.
To me, if I were Governor DeSantis, I would have said, how would you like me to stick my size whatever up your ass? And let's move on to the next question, because this is a serious situation we're in the world today. We're talking about how tall you are.
Well, but by not nipping this stupid thing in the bud, it's gotten worse and it's grown, and he's, and there are memes and people are making fun of him. And either way, he could have just shut this all down. In my mind, he could have shut it down, but he's not.
We have difference of opinion on this, don't we?
We do.
Okay. Yeah. I think you should tell him I'm going to put it where the sun don't shine, and let's move on to some serious
And he did.
questions.
You know what's interesting is you think he should do that. I think he should do what I said. He did something in the middle.
Yeah.
He just said like he wanted to talk about more important things. So he did not admit to it, nor did he deny it. Yeah.
I will neither confirm nor deny my height.
I don't know. It's just I don't know. Okay. So
that's
but that's the problem. That's all anyone's talking about with Governor DeSantis. And there's a debate coming up in 3 days, and they're talking about his boots. So Team DeSantis, you have a problem. You need to fix it. Next.
Okay.
All right.
Who's next on our list?
Former governor of South Carolina and what was she? UN ambassador, Nikki Haley, your favorite.
Yes, who I like to call the wolf in sheep's clothing.
Okay, why do you call her that? I don't know as much about her, but why do you call her that?
Because I do not trust her as a true conservative.
Why?
She capitulated on a number of things in South Carolina when she was governor immediately, with the restrooms and flags and whatever. That just shows she is a full-on hawk for any war you want to get.
Okay, well that's true. I agree, and that's why I don't like her.
I think I just describe her as establishment. She's Nikki with an excited mark, right? Just like Jeb was, right? This is Nikki, excited.
But she's way more exciting than Jeb because she has picked up steam in the Iowa polls.
Yeah, she has, unfortunately. Now, granted, everybody's still 35 points behind Donald Trump.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but no, Nikki Haley, I'm sorry.
She
might be a nice person.
DeSantis.
She's tied with DeSantis, I believe. Yeah, they're both
the one I heard she was ahead.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It would be interesting to see if Trump picked her as a VP, if she would say yes.
There's not a chance in the world he would select her, because his base can't stand her.
I don't think that would stop his base from voting for him.
Well, you got to remember, whoever his vice president is going to have the inside, track for 2028. So
I'm just saying there was a time when Haley and Trump had a good relationship. So
yeah, and she did fine at the UN because Donald Trump said, this is my policy. You need to institute it, and she did, and that's good for her. But her talk of arming Ukraine till we're even broker than we are.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So let's talk about Vivek. I don't know what's happening with him. He's just tanking in Iowa.
Yeah. He just isn't connecting with the Iowans there.
Do you think that's his age?
I think that the first debate he got off on the wrong foot as a know-it-all. Then he tried to tone it back a little bit.
Then he flipped it. Yeah.
And it just hasn't really worked for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's, I think, at 4% now in Iowa. So
I would love to know the average age of voters in the Iowa caucus.
I would assume they're a little bit
I
older.
think I don't think his age is helping him with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
They still see a kid wet behind the ears.
Yeah, yeah. Which he
Yeah.
admitted to in the second debate.
Mhm.
And I think that was a mistake, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think he didn't need to go quite as strong, but he didn't need to come back with this whole modest thing. He's not modest. Neither is Trump. So neither are most politicians.
Yes.
But
Yes.
all right. And then the other person who will be on the debate stage, I don't know. Oh, God, please, if you are a Chris Christie supporter, let us know why in the comments. I don't get it. I mean, I guess he really plays well with, I was a conservative governor in a blue state, but come on. Anyway, so yes, Chris Christie will be on that debate stage.
Yes, he will.
He'll be in Iowa.
He'll be taking up a lot of space.
Literally.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm not Donald Trump. I'm here to stop Donald Trump. Please vote for me. Usually doesn't work well when the former president is annihilating the field.
Yeah. And there was a time where, he would have done anything for Trump, and then he didn't get the position he wanted as Attorney General. And
yeah.
A lot of bad blood.
He wanted to be Attorney General in Trump's organization.
Yeah, he did.
Jared Kushner said, whispered in his father-in-law's ear, and they sent Chris Christie to the back of the line, if you will. Yes.
I think it was worse than the back of the line. But okay, so speaking of Trump, he's had a very bad week.
He has. Yeah, that's why we wanted to kind of talk about this strategy, what's happening, because, Donald Trump's got 90 odd charges against him. It was a very bad week in New York he's never going to get a fair trial there with that judge.
Yeah.
And he will be convicted. They're trying to throw him off ballots in Colorado and a bunch of other states. All of this is probably going to have to run through the Supreme Court, and it's going to take forever. So there needs to be a backup plan, Republicans. And
yes.
It's going to be from this group.
Yeah.
More than likely. Let's say that.
Okay. So you think the backup plan is from one of these four?
Either one of these four, or I could see a late Glenn Youngkin bid. And the only reason I would say that is, he won a purple state, and they can only serve one term in Virginia. One.
Oh, I see.
You can run again, but you have to sit out a term. So he'll have nothing
one term
to do.
at a time for max of 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Yep. Okay. So we're getting off track. So Trump, let's say I agree. I think it's only going to get worse, and he's never been able to answer the question, well, if you thought the election was stolen last time, what are you going to do about this time? So what do you think the strategy should be? Let's talk about each one of these candidates again. For DeSantis.
I mentioned to you earlier this week, and your jaw hit the floor.
It did hit the floor, but first you have to tell people what you said.
I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah. If DeSantis doesn't do well in Iowa, because he's kind of going all in, he's putting his chips on the table there. If he doesn't do well there and closes the gap to within 20 points of Trump, he needs to drop out, and he needs to endorse Trump.
Oh my God.
And what that will do is set him up for 2028. That will help alleviate all the animosity that the Trump supporters have had for him, trying to throw him under the bus. If he gets full force behind Trump and goes in campaigns with him and whatnot. The worst case for DeSantis is he does moderately well in Iowa, just enough to keep you in the race.
That's what I think he'll do. That's what I think will happen.
It could happen like that. So,
but you're not saying this is what you think will happen. You're saying that you're recommending that he drop out after Iowa if he doesn't do well.
Yeah, I think he's either going to kill it in Iowa and really rally
behind Trump.
No, I think DeSantis is going to do really well in Iowa.
Okay.
Or he's going to really tank, one or the other. I don't think it's going to be some sort of middle ground. And maybe after Iowa, we'll get a very, very clear picture. Now, that's not till January, so we've got a ways to go on that.
Yeah, but the reason my jaw dropped when you said that is I just couldn't see DeSantis doing it. I couldn't see him dropping out after Iowa and endorsing Trump. And I mean, I understand that it would set him up well. That I totally get. But I just don't see him doing that.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's going to do it, but I think it would be a smart strategy unless he sees some sort of internal poll numbers with New Hampshire and whatever's after that. Then you're just wasting money and
Okay, all
time.
right. So Vivek, what do you think will end up happening with him? And we don't have a crystal ball, guys. So these are just, these are opinions. They're not actual polls. We're just
informed opinions.
Yes, but still.
So Vivek, to me, is the Republicans' Pete Buttigieg.
Oh,
right. He's
ooh,
young.
See, and I called him the Indian Ronald Reagan.
Well, but in terms
I think mine was a compliment. Yours is sort of insulting.
No. I like Vivek. I think he is incredibly bright, and his answers on a lot of the issues are very detailed and very good.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't think it's time for him yet. He is so young,
That's
and
true.
I think he should pull a Buttigieg and weasel out a cabinet position. I mean,
no matter who wins.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he just completely tanks and his poll numbers look really bad after Iowa, again, probably go ahead, do the Trump endorsement, because if Trump gets the nomination and gets the win, then he'll be positioned for, I mean, could he be a Treasury Secretary or something like that? Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about Nikki Haley?
I don't actually, I think she's going to do okay in Iowa. And she'll probably do okay in New Hampshire. But once you start getting to the southern states and some of
But she was a governor of a southern state.
Yeah, I don't know what her approval rating was. I should probably look that up in South Carolina.
I don't think people dislike her as much as you do.
I just think that the core Republican primary voters. Now, primary voters are usually way more in tune with what's happening with the candidates than general election voters.
That's probably true.
Absolutely. They're the activists, the people that study this. And the only people that are liking Nikki Haley are the establishment people that are out there. And there's just not this groundswell of support for her. So I don't see a path.
Well, this next debate will say a lot. And then, of course, we have Governor Chris Christie. What do you think will happen? What's his strategy going forward?
Well, I think he can drop out or not, but either way, he should just go back to the all-you-can-eat buffet. And I think that's probably where he's going to end up.
Oh, so. I know. That's the thing about Governor Chris Christie. Like, even if I agreed with him, even if I liked him, even if I wanted to vote for him, even if he had a chance, which he doesn't, he's a walking heart attack. Okay.
Yeah.
He is. And that's, I'm surprised that nobody's brought that up yet, but I don't think.
Well, that would be fat shaming. And then the left would like that.
It's too early. I think nobody, he's not a contender, so nobody's picking on that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only people that love him are CNN and MSNBC. So that ought to tell you something.
All right. So let's go over, even though Biden is not allowing for other candidates or any debates whatsoever, let's go over and talk about the Democrats.
They in a heap of trouble.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the poll numbers for President Biden.
Not good. Not good.
Could you be more specific?
I believe
Edward,
he is currently at 37% approval rating.
And that's across an average across all polls.
Correct.
Yeah.
Not absolutely. Good. And it's not going any higher with these numbers coming in, with what, I mean, obviously what we're seeing in the world with, Hamas, Ukraine, you name it, the world's on fire. This weekend, we're seeing, hundreds of thousands of people out with anti-Semitic protests all around the country and the world. And he's not really backing up Israel. He gave the old, we stand behind Israel, but then of course couched it, and Obama did the same thing. So not looking good on the Democrat side there.
Yeah. And so what does that mean when an incumbent president has under 50%?
Historically, I believe it's 49%.
Okay.
Anything under 49%, you lose.
Wow.
And the reason for that is the independents, if you're polling under 49%, usually all break toward the challenger. So obviously
or we give up, or we sit at home.
Yes, the independents.
The independents right here.
Registered.
Andrea. Yes, registered independent. Yes, or we just give up, or we write a candidate in. These are all the things I've done over the last however many presidential elections. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. All right, but there are some people who want Biden's job. There are quite
There
a few.
are. There
Yes.
Shockingly, yeah.
Yes. There's someone who's working really hard.
Yeah, that would be your former governor.
He wasn't my governor when I lived there.
Oh, he wasn't? Okay.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
No.
Gavin Newsom.
Yes.
And I don't know if you saw, he went to China this past week.
Yes, because he has no foreign policy experience. And if you visit China one time,
yes,
that will give you the necessary policy
Makes
experience.
you an expert. So you can say, I've looked, Xi Jinping in the eye and
and he played basketball with some children.
Yes, it ran over a child. So he squatted on a child.
By accident.
Yes,
by accident. But yes.
Not a good, you thought you had moves there, Gov.
Yeah.
It really wasn't.
Edward
good.
is not talking about run over like with a car. It was
literally
with
ran
his
him
body.
over.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just playing basketball with these tiny little children.
That didn't go over well.
Yes.
But, also he's out there doing interviews and they're asking him about his COVID response. And he's just lying through his teeth. It's just everything he says that California says they did, they didn't.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he's going to get away with that if he ends up in a general.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you. We have a comment here. Hey, Larry, thank you. I think you're watching us live on YouTube. Why did you let your Walmart patriotism become your whole personality?
Walmart. That's interesting.
That's a very...
I like Walmart.
I
might even be a smelly Walmart shopper.
Well, I don't shop at Walmart, and that's what Amazon's for. And I don't like to go in person. Why did you let your Walmart patriotism? What does that mean?
I think we're pro-American because I'm American. How's that for an answer?
Become your whole personality. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not my whole personality, but yeah, I'm American.
Yes,
and I'm okay with being an American.
United States get back to the United States that it was, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Larry, thank you for watching us live. Again, we're live streaming right now on Facebook, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but we definitely are on YouTube, thanks to Larry, and Twitter and LinkedIn. And we're looking to go live on Rumble soon. But there are a couple more candidates we want to get to. Larry, if you have any more comments, feel free to throw them in the chat and we will address them. Who else is trying to get the attention of the Democrats?
I'm hearing from insiders on the Democrat side that Big Gretch, as she actually calls herself, Big Gretch.
She does not.
She does. Gretchen Whitmer, excuse me.
She's not Wilson. Hello.
Of the state of Michigan.
Is she the one you call Squarehead?
She's Squarehead, yeah. Governor Squarehead. Yeah, she's got a very square head.
Which is okay.
No, that's fine.
That's fine.
No, she's not an unattractive woman.
Because she's being mentioned.
Yeah, she's being mentioned because insiders are all they see what's happening with Biden, with his mental faculties failing him, and there has to be a backup plan. Their problem is time. If Biden has a full meltdown, so close to the election, they're not going to be able to switch people in and out. Are they going to have the entire country write in Gavin Newsom, or if you're not on a ballot?
That's true.
You're not on a ballot, so
that's true. Yeah. Okay, hold on. We have another comment from Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Larry, this is awesome. Actually, I'm going to see if I can feature your comment here. Let's see. How will MAGA fight their coup civil war without the tanks, attack helicopters, and missile systems the woke military possess? Okay, I'm gonna let you take that one because
I'm not sure exactly what
I don't know what you mean, Larry. I'm sorry. How will MAGA fight their coup civil war? Attack the MAGA supporters, if we're talking about average Americans, most of them don't have tanks, attack helicopters, or missile systems. And then he talks about semi-automatic weapons. So I think that I'm going to show that one too, Larry. Okay, well, we don't own. Actually, the only weapon we own is a gun. It's a 22.
I think so. Yeah,
pistol. It's teeny tiny. It's about the size of my hand. And the only reason, we own the gun because he decided to keep it. Let's be honest.
Yes.
But we own the gun because Edward flipped a house when he first moved to Birmingham, and the person who had lived there was sort of like, I called it the neat hoarder house, and that's where we found the gun.
Yep, they left it, so. It's in good hands now.
I would prefer we don't have it, but I'm not
going back to Larry.
Yes, go back to Larry.
MAGA people conservatives, Republicans support the military. We just don't want endless wars. We're
Yes.
not going to fight
Oh, yes.
somebody else's war.
Yes.
And we have to have our national interest in it. So thanks for the comment.
Thanks. Wow. All right, Larry. Thank you. And we have one more Dem we're going to talk about. Well, I don't even know. Is RFK Jr. still a Democrat?
That's a very good question. He's been run out of the Democratic Party.
I know.
So here you've got, the son of, Robert F. Kennedy being run out of
His legacy.
His own party. And I am hearing that and seeing that from so many Democrats.
It's so disappointing.
Reagan had the famous line, I didn't leave the Democratic Party, it left me. And it is happening everywhere, and especially with this Israel-Hamas.
But I will say RFK right now, I think he said he plans to run as an independent. I think that will push the election away from, I think he'll take a lot of the Republican vote if he runs as an independent.
I don't know. I think it's still up in the air right now.
Okay.
So.
Oh boy, Larry's getting into it. Okay, Larry.
Let's move along.
No, but we have one more segment, but I want to address Larry's comments because he's asking now personal questions for those who are listening. So we're going to feature Larry's comment. So you're conservative because your conservative parents subsidized most of your adulthoods. Larry, I encourage you to Google me. I'm an author. I've been featured on 80 plus podcasts. I am not a conservative. I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent. I have been a registered Democrat when I lived in California. My mother was very apolitical and my father is extremely liberal. And neither one of them subsidized my adulthood. So I left home 4 days after my 18th birthday and never went back.
And I spent 25 years as an institutional bond trader. So I'm not on my mommy's teat. So thank you.
Now he is a conservative.
I'm a conservative. I was raised in a divorced family. My mother was very apolitical, leaning probably a little bit Democrat, but she is actually.
She's more leaning now.
Yeah, she's seen what's going on in the world, and she says this is ridiculous. So she, 89-year-old woman, you're losing them. So
one more quick one from Larry, and then we got to go to our last segment. Although we really appreciate you watching live and your interaction. Is this a soccer mom meal ticket situation? Absolutely fucking not. Okay. Again, I encourage you to Google me.
I like the question.
You'll find out all about me. Edward's kids are grown. And
they've never played soccer.
They never played soccer. I was never a soccer mom. And this is certainly not a meal ticket situation. I worked several jobs myself. So no.
All
right. Just wanted to clarify that. Oh boy. Anyway, again, Larry, no, seriously, thank you for your interaction and your feedback, and follow us on all the channels and leave us a review, whatever kind of review you like. So, all right, we do have one more segment. What is going on this week in woke?
Ooh, this week in woke. I'm going to put my glasses on for this one.
So you look smarter?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. This is going to be from National Public Radio, NPR.
Okay,
Larry.
from NPR.
That's for you. So this story, let's just read it out here. The American Ornithological Society.
You got that
that's
out.
Bird people.
Yes, bird people.
Has vowed to change the English names of all bird species currently named after people, along with any other bird names deemed offensive or exclusionary.
Oh, God. Okay.
The quote from the person there at the president says, names have power, and power can be good or it can be bad. Okay. We want these names to be powerful in a really good way.
All right, so I'm going to help you out with this story. Mm-hmm. The Society has maintained a list of the official English language names for birds in North America since 1886. Occasionally, bird names have been changed, most often for scientific reasons. That sounds like an okay thing with me. If you need to change the name of a bird for scientific reasons, but now we're going to change the names of birds because.
Well, when did this start?
Tell us when.
Well, it really started to change in 2020 with George Floyd. And on that day, I don't know if people remember, that same day, a white woman in Central Park called the police on black birder Christian Cooper, claiming he was threatening her. So you got a black
So wait, he was
guy,
a bird watcher?
He was out there watching birds. Yes.
I remember the story, but I didn't remember that he was a bird
called
watcher.
her Karen, and that's
remember
where
the
it all
Karen.
devolved from that. So
Okay, then what happened a month?
less than a month later,
Yes.
a group called, and I love this, Bird Names for Birds. That's their website.
Okay, well, we'll make sure we put this
Bird
in the
Name
show
for
notes,
Birds
as we always do.
Wrote to the leadership of the society, pointing out the potential problems that had become eponymous,
With eponymous honors.
And demanding change. So I went to Bird Names for Birds website.
To look at all the bird names?
Well, just to kind of get a feel for this group. And let me guess. Yeah, I was correct. Social justice, DEI, everything has to be equity. White people are bad, that kind of stuff, blah, 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 blah. So,
okay.
Yeah, that's where.
All
that's
right.
where
So what are some of the bird names that might need to be changed?
Well, they didn't mention these. So I decided, let me just look up how many birds names are out there. And this is
North America.
This is worldwide.
Oh, okay.
These are birds worldwide.
Okay. Okay.
So there's something called the handsome sunbird.
Ooh, so you're ugly if you don't get sun?
No, but is that going to be offensive to ugly people?
I think it's going to be offensive to ugly people who don't get sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What's another one?
The dwarf bittern. I didn't think we were allowed to use dwarf anymore, right? Or midget, right?
And this bird is like the size of a thumb, right?
So is this now offensive to little people? Right?
Okay, what's another one?
One of my favorites is the Christmas boo book.
That is so cute.
It is cute.
How is that offensive? Oh, boo.
Well, no.
Oh.
Christmas.
Oh.
It's got to be the winter holiday boo book.
I'm sorry. If you look at the fact that boob is in there, then a lot of feminazis are going to want that taken out.
Boo book, not
but some people,
book.
but some people might say boob book.
Okay,
so
yes,
okay. So it's offensive all the way across the board. Could be. Okay.
There's also the buff-bellied puffbird. Buff-bellied puffbird. So if you don't have a six-pack, are you offended? Is that?
Oh.
So basically, any bird that's been named after a white European has got to change. Because they're obviously bad people, and if we want to, get more people into birding, which is, I believe, the actual term that they use, you have to be inclusive. So, do we then start naming things in Spanish and Chinese and everything else? I mean, really?
I don't even. That was a good This Week in Woke.
But is this really a problem that these people are so concerned that there's not enough minorities in birding? Usually birders are, the nerds, right? Usually pure book nerd.
Scientific.
Sort of
people are into science.
And they spend a lot of time out looking for new species of birds. And I would think if you find one, you should get it named after you.
I like it. Okay. So thank you for joining us today, and special call out and thanks to Larry. You were so engaged, and we didn't get to all of your comments, but we will be having a locals community probably later this month. We are in November, right? So, and we hope you will join us in the locals community. And we didn't get to all your comments, but we got to most of them. So thank you so much for joining us. Follow us on the social media platforms. Please join us live on most Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, we are not going to be live next Sunday, but we already have a great show for you. And be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast if you're listening to the podcast version. Wherever you're listening right now, the podcast drops on Monday after we do the live show on Sunday.
All right.
And please learn more and follow us at myfavoriteconservative.show. That's .show, myfavoriteconservative.show. That's where all the socials are. And you can get in touch with us, including you, Larry. Hope to see you there.